don't have enough women in positions of power.
There's definitely a stigma against women who are natural leaders.
It's irrelevant what gender you are, it's just a matter of if you're talented or not.
Plainly put, there's a lot more harassment going on with women.
Women are making great strides, but there's still so far to go.
Was it?
That,
What do you think?
Did you feel?
yeah.
No.
Is it?
I think.
I believe. What do you think?
A feminist is somebody that believes in the equality of both sexes.
For me, a feminist is somebody who believes and fights for equal rights between men and women.
I think it's someone that proposes one sexual gender over the other one, which is something I don't agree with.
I think a common misconception is that feminists are men haters.
Being a feminist is not about hating the other gender. It's about empowering females and empowering them in every aspect of their lives.
I don't believe women have the same rights as men where I live.
Where I live, women do have the same rights as men, but I don't believe that women and men are treated equally in society or have the same experiences.
Gender is something that you have to think about every single day of your lives as a Mexican woman.
Exploitation of women and domination over women takes place on the basis of gender, caste, class, as well as race.
I feel extremely privileged to be in a place where I can feel like anything is possible.
It's evident that violence against women is still definitely a problem.
It's a lot easier, to point to a country like Pakistan or like India where they have like honor killings and, acid attacks and say, well, that's where violence against women exists. I think it's sort of swept under the rug here.
You don't hear about it too often in media, but you do hear it by word of mouth.
Domestic violence is still pervasive for sure.
We saw popular football players with domestic violence against their wives and girlfriends this year.
We know that Mexico is a country where gender violence is pretty much a norm. You feel like being a woman is something that makes you vulnerable.
Oh, there's absolutely violence against women, and there's also discrimination in the workplace.
Women and men occupy entirely different worlds in most workplaces.
There's some difficulties as a female, I think, in the workplace, making sure that you don't seem emotional and getting over the shock value of your intelligence.
There's definitely kind of this fear almost of like, if I hire them, does that mean they're gonna need to go on maternity leave? Are they gonna have to leave early to go pick up their kids from school?
At least in my workplace, women are doing very well. We have more women leaders, I think, than we have male leaders.
I work in the food industry, and kitchens are not historically hospitable places to women. And these women who rise to the top of these kitchens, man, they don't take any crap.
A big problem in the U.S. today is still, equal pay.
On a day-to-day basis, men are just not experiencing the same scrutiny that women do.
There's a long way to go.
I think we certainly need more women in politics.
You see a really, really big disparity between what you look at when you look at Congress and what you look at when you look at the demographics of the U.S.
Our society doesn't encourage enough women to pursue those positions.
No, in my country, there are not many women who hold political positions of power.
We need to have more women in the parliament to speak for us.
The types of leadership roles in Canada available are vast.
We do have a female Home Secretary, and Germany has a female head of state.
Certain roles in society are dominated by men. For example, the presidency.
I don't think we're ready for a head of state woman.
There are a number of women who are leaders in government in the U.S. And as society starts to accept women as just as capable leaders as men, this number will only increase.
I think we need women to advocate for women's rights. I don't think man can do that.
It's not like if a man is advocating for women's rights, he's betraying his own sex or his own gender.
It doesn't matter sex, we should all claim our own rights.
I think that for equality in all aspects, everybody needs to be involved and everybody needs to have empathy for inequalities.
It has to be a concerted effort on behalf of everyone in society.
I would never say, men shouldn't advocate for women's rights, but I think women need to take the lead. They need to be their own leaders and their own voices if they really want to be heard.